With a busy schedule and limited time, the last thing you want to do is spend hours in the kitchen. At the same time, you want to eat healthy, lose weight, and most importantly, improve your energy levels. After all, it's how vigorous and energetic you feel that will determine how efficiently you tackle your responsibilities and how much energy you have left to pursue your weight loss goals. Because more often than not, it's the sluggishness that prevents you from performing at your best and leaves you without the motivation and persistence to eat healthy. It's like a chain reaction. Unhealthy eating leads to compromised energy levels, which makes daily tasks feel more burdensome. And then you feel overwhelmed and stressed, which leads to grabbing the first available option, and the cycle continues. Your new routine needs to be convenient, time-saving, simple, and not drain your mental energy. And that's why we look at 5 best strategies that will give you the energy and focus you need to break the cycle and achieve your goals. And the 5th strategy is something you've likely heard about before, but I want to present it to you in a totally different light. So stick with me, I know you'll be surprised. Now, without further ado, let's start with strategy number 1, and that is food swaps and smart grocery shopping. Because the fact is that improving your diet doesn't have to take up more of your time. You have to eat anyway, so why not make sure you're choosing the right foods? For example, not buying candy doesn't cost you any extra time, but it brings huge benefits. Grabbing some fruit instead doesn't take any more time either, but it's already a high impact swap. Wait, what? Not buying candy? But my kids? Wait, the first and most crucial step is to take self-responsibility. Now, this doesn't mean there are no factors beyond your control, but taking charge of your own health empowers you to make proactive changes. Your kids are your kids. They're not your bosses. You are the boss here. Yes, you might face some pushback initially, but remember, you're the one who set the precedent of having sweets at home. Now you're simply correcting that mistake, and it will take a bit of time and patience. Because if you have this stuff at home, it's too convenient to reach for a chocolate bar when it's easily accessible and you're exhausted after a long day. But if it's not there, it's much easier to resist, right? And yes, I always say that moderation is key. But if you know there are times where you struggle with self-control, why make it harder for yourself by keeping tempting foods at home? Instead, use healthy food swaps. For example, I recently discovered that I love having apple chips instead of my usual gummy bears. No, that's no lie. I never thought they'd taste good based on how they looked to me. But when my friend shared some with me, I decided to give them a try, and now they're one of my all-time favorites. Other healthier versions of your favorite treats might include dark chocolate instead of milk or air-popped popcorn instead of chips. Now, as a note, food swaps only make sense if they actually satisfy you nearly as much as the actual food would, but give your taste buds time to adjust to the healthier options. Dark chocolate never tasted good to me because I was used to the more sugar and milk chocolate, but you learn that the less sugar you eat, the less you crave it. So give it time and be patient. So you see, if you don't want to spend much time on healthy nutrition, you must create a healthy eating environment that supports your goals rather than sabotaging them. And to create such an environment, step number 1 is smart grocery shopping. Because honestly, if you shop smart, half of your nutrition problems are solved. And rule number 1 here, never ever go shopping when you're hungry. You're setting yourself up for bad decisions. And it's just human nature to reach for high-calorie foods when you're hungry. Don't try to fight your human nature, you will definitely fail. So eat before you go. Now, rule number 2, always go grocery shopping with a list. This will help you avoid buying unhealthy convenience foods. Consider buying frozen or pre-cut vegetables, frozen and canned goods. Look for healthy convenience foods like pre-cooked quinoa or rotisserie chicken that can be quickly added to meals. At the end of the day, improving your diet really doesn't have to be a time-consuming chore. With a few smart choices here and there, you can make a big impact on your health without spending extra time or energy energy. Now, if you find these tips helpful, be sure to subscribe for more inspiration and insights on living your healthiest life. Let's get to strategy number 2, and that is an absolute game changer: meal planning. Decision fatigue is a huge factor for me. On busy days, the last thing I want to do is figure out what to eat. It gets on my nerves. Well, meal planning significantly prevents decision fatigue. Plus, it makes grocery shopping easier and calorie counting a breeze. If you track calories, you can track them for the week ahead. It now takes me just about 10 minutes to plan my meals, and if I'm in a calorie counting phase, it takes me another 10 minutes to track them in my MyFitnessPal. That's 10 to 20 minutes a week for better health and better life. When you create a meal plan, make sure it works with your schedule and don't overthink it. Just take your healthy go-to meals and add them to the planner. And if you don't have any ideas, it's a sign that you have not yet paid enough attention to healthy eating and meals. So it's about that time. It's also a sign that you keep buying the same stuff and cooking the same meals because it's probably easier. You have to put in the work and try some new things. I went grocery shopping with a client last week, and we were both pretty much surprised at how many foods she had never tried and had no idea how to use. That was an interesting experience for her. And now, since we're talking about healthy eating around a busy schedule, you really don't have to try 10 different recipes every week. That won't help you start, and that won't help you stay consistent. Instead, start with 1 to 2, focus on those that require minimal ingredients and time. Think one-pot meals, easy to prepare bowls, salads, and sheet pan dinners. Also take advantage of cold meals. Buy pre-made salad kits that you can quickly assemble for nutritious meals. Make wraps, sandwiches, and burritos that are easy to carry and eat on the go. If you like smoothies, work some into your week too. Use frozen berries and vanilla protein powder, or make a smoothie pouches with pre-measured ingredients. Just dump the contents into your blender with some liquid and you have a quick, nutritious meal or snack. Talking of protein, always include plenty, and not just animal protein. Add plant protein like beans, legumes, peas, seeds. It's a must if you want to eat healthy with a busy schedule. Protein helps you stay satiated longer. It lowers your blood sugar level, prevents cravings, and boosts your metabolism. It also makes you less likely to crave simple carbs, because eating too many simple carbs leaves you sluggish and exhausted due to blood sugar spikes and crashes. And you know well that the last thing you need with a busy schedule is low energy, as it leaves you with no motivation to prepare healthy meals. Now here's an advanced tip. Try batch cooking once you trust the recipes you've tried. Set aside 1 to 2 hours on the weekend to prepare large batches of healthy meals. Then store them in portion-sized containers for easy grab-and-go options throughout the week. Talking of easy grab-and-go, our next strategy is to prepare emergency meals. Now, in exceptional cases, it's totally fine to have fast food or takeout, but reducing these exceptions is what differentiates successful healthy eaters from others. Foods like fast food are better options for planned indulgences because they allow you to feel in control of your own food choices. Now, emergency fast food meals, on the other hand, do the opposite. They create a feeling of not being in control and may trigger unhealthy eating patterns. This is a major psychological factor that can affect your overall nutrition. You also know that emergencies often strike more than just once a week. And then there's also the weekend. A friend brings over a cake, you order pizza, and suddenly half of your meals are fast food again. We all know how fast those can add up. So the best way is to leave fast food for occasions where home-cooked meals aren't feasible. Now, this way of thinking helps maintain your motivation and commitment to your nutrition goals. And also, preparing your meals at home is cheaper, so you'll also save money. Take just 30 minutes of your week to prepare healthy emergency meals that you can freeze and use when needed. Stews, soups, and casseroles are great for this. Definitely look for options that are high in protein and fiber. And if you stick to your weekly meal plan and don't need your emergency meal, even better. Just leave it in the freezer for the next time you need a quick, healthy option. So a healthy fast food meal. Now, talking of planning ahead, establishing regular meals is another key aspect of maintaining a healthy diet. Why? Because eating regularly is incredibly important when you're busy. Your body and mind are working day in, day out, with you as the boss demanding more and more every single day. From waking up at 6 a.m. to getting the kids to school, going to work, keeping the house in order, trying to get in a regular workout. No matter what your day looks like, when you are constantly on the go, your body needs enough nutrients to perform at its best and prevent burnout from a systemic breakdown. Whether you notice the stress and exhaustion or not, sadly, many women are so used to the constant hustle and bustle that they forget what a healthy and energized body without coffee and sugar really feels like. They're in constant flight or fight mode, and that can lead to so much worse issues than just weight gain. In fact, weight gain might just be a symptom of many other underlying issues. When you don't eat regularly, you're lacking important nutrients and thus can't deal with stress effectively. Instead, your hormones such as progesterone suffer because more cortisol is needed in the body to deal with stress. Note that progesterone is a precursor to cortisol, so the more cortisol is needed to fight stress, the more progesterone is stolen. When progesterone drops, you may experience symptoms of estrogen dominance, such as weight gain, mood swings, irregular menstrual cycles, and fatigue. Also, your blood sugar levels are an important part of maintaining your energy and focus. Skipping meals messes with your blood sugar balance, leading to energy crashes and increased cravings, making your busy life even harder. And I know firsthand that skipping meals may seem like a time saver, but it often backfires by causing hunger and overeating later. Whatever project you're working on isn't more important than your project, you. And your children, they're also not more important than your health, because your children need a healthy mother. So shift your thinking here. Self-care is not selfish. It's selfless. When you take care of yourself, you are able to shine for others by being vibrant, energetic, happy, and thriving. Whenever you say no to a healthy meal, you say no to your health. Prioritize your well-being, because you can only give your best to others when you are at your best. Food is nourishment, not a burden and not an enemy. And that leads to our next power strategy: mindful eating. As busy women not only tend to skip meals, but when we do eat, we often do so quickly and mindlessly. Now, this habit can take a huge toll on your health and weight loss goals. Now, let me start by briefly explaining the nervous system so we can then connect it to mindful eating. Your nervous system is a complex network that controls and coordinates all the functions of the body. It is divided into two main parts: the central nervous system, which includes the brain and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, which consists of all the nerves outside the CNS. Within the peripheral nervous system, there is the automatic nervous system, which regulates involuntary body functions like heartbeat, digestion, and breathing. The ANS has two main divisions. First is the sympathetic nervous system, which is often referred to as the fight or flight system. It prepares the body to respond to stressful or emergency situations. It increases heart rate, redirects blood to muscles, and releases adrenaline, among other functions. Now, the second part is the parasympathetic nervous system, known as the rest and digest system. It promotes relaxation and recovery. It slows down the heart rate, increases digestive activities, and conserves energy. The parasympathetic nervous system is active when the body is at rest, facilitating digestion and nutrient absorption. Both systems work together to maintain balance in the body, ensuring appropriate responses to different situations. Now it gets interesting. When you eat, the parasympathetic nervous system is active. This is why mindful eating and taking time for your meals instead of rushing is so important. When you eat mindfully, you allow your parasympathetic nervous system to effectively manage the digestive processes. Now, this leads to a better taste and satisfaction experience, improved digestion, enhanced nutrients absorption, and overall better health. So you as a a busy woman, please avoid eating in a rush or while stressed, as this deactivates the parasympathetic nervous system, which can inhibit digestion and lead to issues such as indigestion, bloating, and nutrient deficiencies. It takes a toll on your energy levels, your mental health, your sleep quality, your ability to concentrate, and your overall sense of well-being. As busy women, we tend to forget that our health is the key to being able to stay busy, to stay productive, and to be happy. We're constantly juggling tasks, waking up early, getting the kids to school, working, cleaning, and trying to fit in a workout. Amidst all this, it's easy to let our health slide, but when you prioritize your health, everything else becomes so much more manageable. Your energy levels, your focus, and the ability to handle stress are directly impacted by how well you take care of yourself. Skipping meals, eating on the go, and grabbing whatever's convenient is not the way. This cycle makes daily tasks feel overwhelming and harder to complete. Self-care is not selfish, it's essential. Prioritize your health, adapt to strategies, and see the transformation not just in your body, but in your entire life. You deserve to feel amazing, and with a little effort and mindfulness, you can achieve that. Now, not only managing your day, but also improving your metabolism is key if you want to lose weight efficiently as a busy woman over 40. Learn more about how you can do this by watching this video next. Here's to us busy women taking control of ourselves, because our health is our greatest wealth.